Well, that's where we get questions like y'all. If y'all had standards, y'all wouldn't even ask certain questions that y'all ask. That gorilla grip. Okay, this is the point I was making. No pussy is worth my standards, my manhood, my principles, and my identity. No money is worth my principles, my morals, my standards, or my identity. That's the simple answer. If you have a price or a situation in which you will withhold, me and you don't even probably see eye to eye spiritually. We're two different individuals at the core of who we are. We definitely can't even communicate on a certain level. Cause you are a I can't even call you a sheep. You have no backbone. You have no spine. You're not even a man I could relate to on certain like a lot of levels really. Superficially, we both might like women. We both might enjoy having sex and getting money and stuff like that. But you wouldn't even be able to understand where I come from in life. Cause I'm a man of honor. So if I stand on the shit I do and the shit I say, and I have dignity and I have principles, you're gonna think something different, and we wouldn't even be able to be on the same page, bro. And Chad, this is important. Cause I would not be able to have homies who are tricks. I would not be able to have homies who fucking be beg woman, chase woman, are desperate, horny, needy. I wouldn't be able to, bro. The lions can't hang with the sheep, man. It's two different sides out here, bro. Homies who fuck anything. I mean, I got homies who I ain't gonna lie. I got homies who fuck anything. I got homies. I got a lot of homies with well over triple digit body count, bro. Not saying that means I do. You're not who you hang around, chat. You're not who you hang around. But I do know, I know niggas that be fucking, bro. So that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's about you out here begging, you out here chasing, you out here like, come on, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, you if I found out, we call that shit out too. I remember we found out my man's was DMing bitches something like you cute boo or something like that. And we all dog, we trolled this nigga forever. And it's this same homie was like, yo, when he ended FaceTime, his first FaceTime call with a girl, he troll her and say, I love you, and then end the call and hang up fast. Oh my god, I can't make this up, bro. I can't make this up, bro. Jesus Christ. I feel like many men never had a dad to model after. So how does someone become a man without ever having a father figure? You have a blank canvas. Then you gotta set your own standard and not be. You gotta know what type of men reflects your standard. I mean, at the end of the day, you are your greatest reference. You should be your role model, right? Because if you're not living to your ideal or how you want to, then what the fuck are you doing? Chat, somebody reposted the plug channel thing, right? And commented on it was the I knew this was gonna get posted on the plug. I just knew it before I even told it. Reposted the joint, right? With the one I explained in the bar with the chick, and I went and said the crazy shit to her and followed her on Instagram after that. And the nigga commented on that thing, oh, if y'all can't tell this content, or y'all can't tell this story fake, or da da da. I think what blew me most about seeing that it had likes too. I think what blew me most about the comment is that I don't even ever really tell stories. To one insinuate that I would have to lie about a story it just blew me. But if I know it really happened in real life, then whether they think it's a lie or not don't matter, right? The second part that blew me was the audacity to come from this mentality like. Why would I even... Dog, if you thought that story was a lie, nigga, you wouldn't be able to... Let me tell half the shit I didn't say. Let me tell half the shit I don't come on stream and talk about. Nigga, you would think my whole life is a fucking... You would think I'm just creating a script or something. You would never be like... And I had to realize that some niggas just don't got it, bruh. And then when niggas don't got it, they'll be like, oh, top 10 things that didn't happen. My fault, brother. My fault, brother. Just go ahead and tell me your experiences is bland as fuck. Just tell me your life normal as fuck. And I'm glad like some people see it once they start exposing themselves to the levels of confidence and charisma that they can have. I had a Patreon call, right? So the guy was talking about how he said, yo, I started to use what you said, and I started to understand how sometimes, yo, he was telling me this story, right? Now, chat, I even said this to him. So ironically, I seen it in the fucking chat of the plug when they reposted this. I'm like, I said this to him on the call because he was telling me a story of how it's a gym he goes to, and there's this pretty girl in there or whatever, and her stepdad, she comes to the gym with her stepdad, right? And he said her stepdad put him onto her. And that next day, he was already going over her crib. Or within like the next 2 days or something like that. Now, as he's telling me the story and describing the events, not one ounce of me said, this story is fake, or he's bullshitting and he's lying. Because I know when you a motherfucking opportunity, when you a motherfucker with a mouthpiece, when you a motherfucker with conversation always ready, dog, the doors that open for you as a man, the shit that you get into, the situations that you come up from or something like that, the average person don't even know can happen. An average motherfucker won't even know. How can I get a woman through her mom? How can her mom try to throw me the door? How can her stepdad throw me the door? We all at the gym. How do I even get a woman? This average nigga is struggling to even approach a woman. He not even seeing how a circumstance could be her mom put you on her step pop or she do some other, like, you're not even, it's two sides to the game. It's like you're struggling to get your fundamentals down packed, but then you get your shit right. The experiences you have once you start moving a certain way, you see life a lot differently. The experiences you have when you move like that is a lot differently. For example, Karita, I appreciate the 21 months.
Hit some crazy shots.
Exactly. So, for example, y'all remember we reacted to the messages, right? And the dude was like, the girl was chasing him, right? In the text messages. And I was just reading them, reacting to him. And somebody said something in the chat about like, oh, it must be this or da-da-da. But that's normal. They have never seen a woman be that desperate for a man. Because they've never seen a woman chase after them like that. They've never seen a woman defend why she likes them. Or you know, I'm not saying for your ego you want to see a woman beg. But when you make a certain kind of impact on a woman and you really had a certain type of touch in her life, my nigga, she will fight for you. She will put the effort in. So if you barely getting ghosted and flaked and not even getting texted back, you've never even seen that side of women. So sometimes I have to remember that a lot of niggas just don't know what they don't know. A lot of niggas just don't even know the other side of the ball game, bro. There's a world beyond the world that you live in, and it's crazy, chat. Like if I told y'all some of the stories of the shit that I've seen and experienced in my life, the shit that I've done, motherfuckers would be like, yo, man, he made that better. That's fake as fuck, man. He made that up. That story's cap. And if you an OG Patreon member, you know about some of the shit I had on there with receipts on there that I had to delete because it got too big and stuff like that, and I didn't want certain things getting out. So you might know some of the things or some of the shit I would show y'all on there. Bitches proposing threesomes, me taking a bitch from a boyfriend, her all the shit being on there that was on there. That only OG. If I tell these stories, if I break them down, niggas be like, bro, that's cap, bro. That's cap. It didn't happen. It's not real. It's not true. But it just blows my mind. Y'all can't even be open to winning. Y'all, Snakes, 11 months. I appreciate that, my G.
Yeah.
That's one thing I realized. Despite learning from you, I realized that experience is the best teacher. You always say, I'm trying to tell y'all, brother. Niggas don't even know. Like, the winner's side of the table is just so far from the average experience. And not based on looks, clout, status, or money. Mouthpiece. Mouth positioning. With the same woman. Oh my God, if I could just get y'all to see this shit. And the only reason like I said, I deleted all them older things on the Patreon is because I like a certain level of privacy in my life. And I was small enough back then to where I would share certain things and it just was able to be small, but motherfuckers leak shit. Look. So I don't play them kind of games no more. I don't play them kind of games. Even, actually, never mind. Let me not say that.
Brudda.
Elaborate on mouthpiece. Develop a mouthpiece. Where do I start? It's the magic that makes it all happen. I think that when people think of a mouthpiece, right, the only thing you really need to think of is a man who's effective with his words. You know how people always say, oh, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. A nigga with a mouthpiece, what he's saying is influential. He knows how to. Some people call it the gift of gab. Have you ever heard of that? Some people call it the gift of gab. You could look at an expert salesman. You could look at somebody like the Wolf of Wall Street, like how he said he used to break down on phone calls. That's a mouthpiece. A mouthpiece it ain't just got about like, oh, I approached her and I got her number and I fucking whatever. Bro, a mouthpiece can close a business deal. A mouthpiece can fucking I can't even describe it, but it's just being very intentional about how you use your words. You're very good with your words. So you got a mouthpiece compared to somebody who doesn't. Give both of us 5 minutes with the same woman. I'm so far along in my conversation because each of my sentences have positioned me or made an impact. And this other dude's talking about fucking Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. like he's bullshitting with his words. But I know how to use my mouthpiece to position myself. I know how to throw myself an alley-oop off the backboard. I know how to finesse. I know how to seduce. I know how to flirt. I know how to charm. I can use my words. I can speak and get myself in and out of doors. It don't matter. Completely separate from a woman. And the better you are at doing that, the better your mouthpiece is. And if you're thinking about developing that, right, now that we just described that, I'm going to be honest. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. The ways I really developed my mouthpiece is just out of pure determination. And what do I mean by that? My mouthpiece was what really came in clutch when I was getting myself into universities and my grades in high school really wasn't that tough. And I leveraged how I approached these college fairs, how I talked to them, letting them know like, hey, listen, I know my first 2 years wasn't good, but here's my, my last 2 years, here's the classes I'm taking. Took this SAT prep course. I got this other SAT score. This is all my mouthpiece. I'm saying all this to build my case, making a relationship with this person, to which then I ended up building that relationship. They gave me a connection, and I ended up getting a full ride from it. Example of a mouthpiece. Determination. This is more on the toxic side of things, but guess what? At the end of the day, it has helped me develop my mouthpiece. Like I tell y'all, certain things that I've gotten caught up with other women, let's not even get into it. But having to come back from being down 30 and finesse it and clutch it without begging is what made my mouthpiece have to be sharp. Because I was too prideful, so I didn't want to beg. I didn't want to fucking be on some desperate shit, but to be intentional with what I was saying. So everyone, I'm telling you, the more you start making your sentences matter, the better your mouthpiece is gonna get. It's just about like putting yourself in situations where you gotta work. You gotta work on that shit, bro. Positioning, being determined to get what you want, and using your words to get you there. So practice networking with persuasion. Fine, if that's what understand makes sense to you, then go with that. I think that's actually a simple way to put it. So you're basically saying you should stop wasting time, show them who you are, and having attention while talking. When I gave y'all an example with that college fair and how it helped me get a full ride, not only just me, but 3 of my other friends, and then 2 more after that, right? All full rides, and some of us to different universities, right? I set the example because I would go in there to this desk, right? Just imagine this. It's a college fair. And y'all know what a college fair is, right? It could be a state college fair, it could be a HBCU college fair, and then it'll be like a list of 10 to 20 universities. And they'll all have these booths. Right? And it might say Penn State University, it might say Rutgers, it might say all these different universities will have their stands, right? Now they have cards, they have pamphlets, brochures, shit like that. And then there'll be either 1 to 2 people. That's what I usually see. 1 to 2 people behind the desk. And that person will be wearing like the college's uniform or like the college's jersey, right? Now, I actually wasn't even aware of this at the time. But because I was a people. No, I mean I'm saying was, but because I was so keen on how to talk to people, and how to influence people, and how to get what I want, and I knew what I want going into these situations. It was like a perfect match, bro. Come to find out that a lot of times those people behind those desks at those college fairs play a big part in who they are in their university. Like the lady behind the desk, she's not just some part-time person who just came here and showed up and represented the university. Dog, she might be like the co-admissions director or the fucking recruitment officer or some shit. Like she has a position, right? A position of power or influence. And not only that, because of that position, there are connections that she even has at the university which can push and pull favors. I didn't know this at the time. All I knew, I was going in here with an opportunity and I wanted to leverage my mouthpiece because I knew my resume wasn't really that strong. I had like a 3.0 or something because of my first 2 years of high school was bad. I told you I was getting in trouble, getting into fights, fucking around with women. Like I wasn't really worried about my grades. But my last 2 years, I cooked. I took AP courses. I had a 1300 on my SAT. I actually cooked my last 2 years. So I was going and talking to these people and telling them my story. I was marketing myself. And from those conversations, it positioned them to say, you know what? I like this young man. Take my card. Right? And not even take my card on some bullshit shit. I had offers from all these universities because of this conversation. In fact, the university I actually ended up choosing, right? I got into the honors program through this. Well, I had to still get interviewed and make it through that, right? But even during the interview, my mouthpiece, nigga, you know why I stood out in the interview? Because most of those students who went to interview for the honors college, right? They were going in there nervous. They were going in there, oh, I have to prove myself. I have to get them to like me and get accepted. You know what I went in there with the mentality was? I went in there and said, I know who I am. I literally remember one of my strongest sentences during that interview. I said something along the lines of, this is all mouthpiece. I said something along the lines of 3.0 GPA is bad. I went to a college prep high school, so I had people in there with 4.3s, 3.8s. People went to Brown University, Princeton, NYU. Like my high school was compy as fuck. Like it was really a top tier high school. So when I say 3.0, it was the standard of my school. So 3.0 was bad for the standard that we had. Now listen. Back to what I was saying with this interview shit. I remember one of my strongest sentences in the interview was something along the lines of, I know what my plan and vision is for myself as a leader and what I want to do for my community. And if this honors program is a good fit to help me develop my skills for my goal and my plan, then that's why I want to be here. And this positioning, I never forget I said that, dog. Because when I said that shit, I was like, damn, I cooked. Dog, you should have seen their face after I said this. And I ended up getting accepted immediately. I got that phone call that weekend. People had to wait months for their decision. I got that phone call that weekend. Now listen. So after right, we had that conversation, right? Well, after I said that in that conversation, the point was I leveraged my mouthpiece to sit here and show them I know who I am. I know my value. I have a sense of self-worth. My vision is very clear. And I'm letting you know your position to me. I'm not sitting up here begging, trying to prove myself to you. Please accept me so you can turn me into somebody I'm not. I said, no, I know who I am, and we're either going to benefit each other, and you're going to benefit me in this way. You know what kind of audacity you gotta have to say some shit like that? You know how well you got to know yourself to say some shit like that? And to stand on it? And guess the fuck what? It only played to my advantage because they knew when they could recognize a motherfucker who handles shit and gets shit done and is a leader and actually is influential. And it all came from my knowledge of myself and my determination. I'm trying to tell you, now Chad, did I give y'all some examples of mouthpiece? Because I want to get more specific when I talk about shit. I don't want to just be like, oh, have this and do this and blah, blah, blah. I can get specific because I live everything I fucking talk about. So I don't have to sit here and talk about it like it's like I read it in a fucking book or it's some make-believe shit. Nigga, I live what I talk about on all levels, on any level. And I don't even have to use mouthpiece with women because it's the same thing. You could actually go back and look at the fucking edit I just had with the Destiny Wife situation. And with all due respect, actually let me reserve that comment. But look at the conversation. Look at the difference between, especially if you went to watch how the other contestants talked to her and how I talked to her. Mouthpiece. I'm a man of many passions and many interests, so I have a heart. What? Every sense I'm using, nigga, it's painting a picture. Even from the first, I said, you know what? I'm gonna get straight to it. I heard you say this. Why do you think you're too much? And okay, so really what you think is blah, blah, blah. And then I commented on every sense count. Nigga, you want to have, I'm trying to tell you, bro, y'all get too much shit for free, man.